All right, one of your buddies is here, and that is Landen Roupp, and I'll let Sean start it off with Landen.
Rupert, where are you at right now?
I am at the Global Ambassador, coming here for dinner.
Ooh, what are you gonna
I got
order?
dinner at 6:30.
What are you gonna order? What are you gonna get?
I don't know, first timer. So we'll
First
see. I
time?
don't even know what's
Well,
on
you're
the
good.
menu.
You're
I haven't
good.
even looked
You're
at
good. You're good, country boy. Get you a nice little slab of meat with some potatoes.
it. You know I will. Probably see if they got a 32 ouncer or something.
Sounds like
All
a
right.
good old North Carolina guy right there. Outdoorsman. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I saw
Yeah.
a video this offseason. Some guy proposed to his fiance out in the woods, and then he saw a deer and was hunting, and he got the deer. And I think he was more excited to get the deer than he was to get engaged. And I could have swore that was Landen Roupp. I mean, it's the same
Yeah, I
same
saw
thing.
I think we were in the clubhouse when you showed me that. You're like, is
Yeah, I
this you?
did. Uh-huh. All right,
Well,
so
Landen,
I remember that.
Rupert, I'm curious, man. You came into camp like you were a man on a mission. You were not to be messed with. I mean, it was different. You looked good. Like, what was that just a you like in the off season? Like you ended last year well, and just going to this off season into camp, you were just like, I'm gonna be a man on a mission. Like, I'm just gonna be a bat out of hell and just get after it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of always the mentality, is just to come into camp and impress and show what you've been working on all off season. So, and I can say the same thing about you. You've been throwing the ball well too. So,
I appreciate it.
but yeah, I mean you're welcome. Uh, the cutter and the changeup have really helped my arsenal, and just keeping guys off the fastball and curveball. Like last year, early on, a lot of hitters were just sitting curveball on me, and when I wasn't spotting up my two seam, it made it pretty easy for them to just take control of the curveball. So having those two extra pitches is really exciting for me, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Landon, did you? I mean, have you had those two extra pitches? You just didn't use them a lot last year, or did you work on a couple extra pitches in the off season, or how did those two new pitches, which I mean, they're really noticeable when you throw. It's like, because we remember it was curveball, fastball, and now I've seen some swings and misses on what looks like a nasty changeup. So did you have them last year? You just didn't use them?
Yeah, I've always had a changeup. It's never been like a confidence pitch for me. It's always just been like, I was talking to somebody the other day, like when Patty or someone would call it, I would immediately like question it, and that just like right there, it just needs to be thrown out of the equation, because if you're questioning a pitch already, it's probably not going to go your way. So, but so like I said, I've always had a changeup, but it's never been comfortable for me until I think middle of the season last year. I think we were in Boston. I was in the bullpen, and I told G to radio down, and I told him to say, let Patty know that I'm throwing everything I got, and like I don't care where it goes, how hard it gets hit, or what happens. I'm just throwing all my pitches, and I ended up throwing more changeups that game than two seams. I think I saw a tweet after that game. It's kind of funny that everybody was worried my fastball velo had gone down because I was throwing it at like 89, something like that. So, but no, the cutter is completely new. I tried last year, and it kind of just turned into that bigger slider I had that was a little harder. And I was talking to JP, and I was like, I might as well keep it because I'm throwing the slider harder than I ever thrown it. I think I was throwing it 84, 86, and it was different than my curveball. And this year, I came up to him. I was like, I'm gonna go away from the slider. I'm gonna solely focus on throwing a cutter, and G helped me out with a grip, and it's kind of just stuck. So I'm really excited about that pitch for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't say I've always had them. I've definitely never had the feel with the changeup that I do now. So that's exciting. Gives me more confidence against lefties for sure.
Sean, when you watch Landen pitch, what do you see from the bench or wherever you are?
Well, like I said, this year so far in camp, it's been a man on a mission. I mean, he's up there. It's any pitch, any time, and it's impressive. It's fun to watch. It's elite stuff. And I can only imagine, Roupp, same for me. Last year, you threw in that cutter, and it just opens up the doors for lefties all the time, right? I mean, you just get them on their back heels and opens up that changeup, and it opens every avenue for you to go attack them. So it's been fun to watch Roupp so far this camp. And I mean, at the end of last year too, you ended last year on a tear too. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm sure you probably do, Roupp, but you ended last year on a good scoreless streak, didn't you?
Yes, except the last start. I had a pretty good run there into the last start against the Cardinals. But
So you guys have been in the bullpen together in last year, and I'm always curious. I mean, you guys spend a lot of time together with 7 or 8 guys, and you got a couple coaches down there. Who's the funniest guy down there, or at least last year when you guys were both down in the bullpen?
Whew.
I got my pick. Let's hear you go first, Jelly.
Man, it's a good collective. I'll tell you that much. We definitely we play off each other, like you said. We know each other really well, so we got a lot of grief to air out and a lot of inside jokes going on. If I got a single one guy,
you can count on a good laugh. He'll give you a good laugh once a game.
I'm gonna cop out. Last year, the Rogers twins were a good 1-2 punch. They play well off each other. It was good dry delivery. It was pretty awesome. They're a good 1-2 punch.
That's my exact answer. I was going.
Yeah.
I was more so going with Tay. I was going with Taylor, but they're a deadly combo when they're together. It's just back and forth, funny stuff, 24/7. So I love those guys.
Okay, I'll put you on a spot here, both you guys. Who's the guy in the bullpen who talks too much, and you just really want to go, okay, you need to stop talking for a couple innings? Kill him. Jeff.
He's raising his hand.
It's me. I already. It's me. You don't save your breath, Roupp. I already know the answer to that one.
I was about to say he's raising his hand right there.
When Beck got down there at the end of the year when he got healthy, him and I were fighting for that one. That's for sure. But yeah, it's me.
Hey, you're a nice guy, right? You're a friendly guy. You just want to chat with people.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll put it that way. Yeah.
Okay, here's my final bullpen question. What percentage of what you guys talk about is baseball compared to non-baseball?
90%.
90% what?
90% is not about the game.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you what that 90% is, but that's good to know.
It's not like we're not locked in. Like, we're still paying attention to the game. We're just having those side conversations while watching the game. You gotta keep it light down there.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
All right, Sean, what's your topic? What's your favorite thing to talk to these guys about?
I one with, we got Logan and Robbie and Justin and all these other guys that have a lot more time than I do. So I'm not necessarily the first pool of answers, but I always talk to guys. For me, I like to just talk about like the mental side of everything and just dealing with the adversity of the business side of everything. I mean, I've got parts of 3 seasons. I mean, between 2022 and 2023, I got like 70 days or something like that. I used all 5 of my options in all those years. Like I rode the taxi cab, and for guys that were doing that this past year or in the coming years, like just talking them through that and just being a sounding board for them, and just being somebody that's been in those shoes before and talking them through it, because it's tough. I mean, it's hard to pitch well and then get optioned, because you're kind of sitting there going like, well, like, what more do I need to do? Like I had a good outing, somebody got healthy, and I get sent down to AAA or whatever it may be. So it's tough to go through that and just understand the business side of things, right? And you got to stay up, and you got to stay with your process and your routine of everything, because that phone call to send you back up is right around the corner. It could happen at any point, whether it be an injury or even a sickness or whatever have you. So I feel like most of my conversations are talking guys through that, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Roupp, you and I had some of those conversations last year. There were some moments where, you know, that's exactly what happened to you. You know, you pitched well and you got optioned, and it sucks. Like, there's no other way to put it. It does. It sucks. And
Yeah.
just being able to go down to AAA and still know that, like, you know, I'm good enough to do this. I'm a major league pitcher. I just kind of have to, you know, pay my dues a little bit. I gotta
My
wait a
turn.
little bit more. Yeah, wait your turn, whatever it
Yeah.
may be. I feel like that's a huge part of all this that not a lot of people realize is that mental grind of going through something like that and riding that metaphorical taxi cab between Sacramento and San Francisco.
So, Landon, how do you do it? And how do you keep that good attitude about yourself? Look, you're having a great spring. You know, you're in the mix here for that fifth starter spot. Every time out, you've been. You look like you've got it. How do you keep the mental side together?
Yeah. I think most of it is just, confidence in yourself. Like, regardless if, you get sent down, like Jelly said, it's just part of the business as a young player. Even, the first time I got sent down last year, I was pretty mad. I don't think I talked to anyone before I left the locker room. I kind of stormed out of there and went to the hotel room, and then I ended up getting called up the next night. So it wasn't that bad for that long, but because I think that's when Snell got hurt. But yeah, I think it's just confidence in yourself, knowing that you can be there and you can perform there, and it's just I think when I got optioned last year, it was always like a numbers game. Kind of you're down for a couple of days. We need another pitcher, things like that. So if I had to put anything on it, I would say confidence. Just kind of what Sean said, just keeping your mentality and knowing you're going to be there, and it's just in time.
And you know what, Sean, I want to see if you agree with me. Like, I like watching Landon pitch for a bunch of reasons, but he's got a little strut on the mound, and he comes across as being very confident out there, which I like. That's one of the reasons I love Verlander, because Verlander just walks out to the mound like, I'm a Hall of Famer, I'm really good, and you're probably not going to get a hit. And he can be getting knocked around. And Landon's got a nice little strut out on the mound, and I like that. Do you guys see that as well in him?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the best way to put it is, like, you're not out there to make friends. You know, like,
Yeah.
you're not trying to make friends with the other team and make them try and show that you're a nice guy or a cool guy or whatever on the mound. Like, you're out there to get outs, plain and simple. That's all it is. And so whatever you got to do to get in that mindset to get outs, put up zeros, that's what you got to do. And yeah, Rupper's got a nice intensity to him for sure.
Yep.
He sees some red out there sometimes, and I like it. I mean, we all do, we all do. We get that. I jokingly say that Full Metal Jacket look where he's kind of like looking through his eyebrows, and it's just like I said, whatever you got to do to get the job done. You're not out there to make friends.
Yeah, he's got Landon. You got a little badass look to you when you're on the mound, and I think that's good.
Well, I appreciate that. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Look,
I do feel like a different person when I'm between the lines.
I'm a kid from Brooklyn. For me, it was a big deal to see a squirrel. This guy is a hunter. This guy hunts, and killed a bear. Which I want you to tell the story very briefly. What's the most scared you've ever been on doing some hunting? If something could have happened to you, because you're scared there, but on the mound, man, you've got it together. So tell me.
You want to hear the bear story? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, let's hear the bear story first. I don't want to hear the most scared you've ever been as a hunter.
Well, that one was, it got my heart beating a little bit, a lot more than when I'm on the mound. I can tell you that much. But no, this is honestly my first time ever bear. I've been, but I've never tried to kill one or anything like that. But I'm with my buddy, and we're running dogs. We let the dogs out, and we're riding the four-wheeler, just checking for tracks because we weren't really hitting on much, and ended up we're on this side of the farm, and it's our hunting club. So we're on this side of the farm, and the dogs are running on the other side of the farm. So we haul tail back that way, and ended up the bear was coming right at me and my buddy. And I'm talking about, I don't have a gun, he don't have a gun. Only thing I got is a little pistol on my hip, but I ain't gonna do much to a 450 pound bear. But the bear's coming right at us, and I'm talking about from me to probably 10 yards in front of me, and you can just hear him busting down the trees. It sounds like a bulldozer coming through the woods. And I swear, me and him looked eye to eye, and as soon as we looked eye to eye, he turned around, and I think I harvested him probably 30 minutes later after that. So when he was running at me, full speed, not a care in the world other than getting out of there, my heart was pumping pretty hard on that one because I had no defense at all. I was either his dinner or he was going to run away, one or the other.
Yeah. Come on. So is he going to worry about coming in with first and third and 2 out? No. What does he care?
Yeah, that's nothing compared to 50,000 angry Dodgers fans screaming at you in LA.
Landen,
but I would say
Landen,
I wouldn't say I'm ever real scared in the woods, but your heart does start pumping when you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you got to walk in pitch dark a mile back in the woods, and you're hearing every little movement and you don't know what it is. You have no idea. Because when I walk through the woods, like morning hunts, I don't carry a flashlight because that just completely scares the deer away. So I'm completely going on hearing and just trusting myself to make it there before something happens. So I would say every morning I go hunting is a little intimidating, but it's not. I'm never scared because, but I will tell you, this is funny, and I think I can speak for every hunter. When you hit the ladder of your deer stand, all the worries go away. It's like nothing can get you ever again when you're up in the deer stand. I don't know why, but it's like everything that was out there can no longer touch you. But
Landen, you ever hunt bow and arrow?
I used to as a kid, and then I actually picked it up again last year. So that's my main goal this coming up season after baseball season is to harvest a deer with a bow and maybe even a bear with a bow. So we'll see about it.
Yeah, Will Clark told the stories. Didn't he, Glenn, about that? Doesn't he go hunting with a bow and arrow?
Yeah, I think so. And some people, I mean, I have friends back in the Midwest who are big hunters, and they don't want to use guns. They think it's more of a challenge to use bow and arrow. So whatever. I'm gonna stay inside. That's what I'm gonna do. But if you want to use bow and arrow.
Landen, I know you got to go to dinner, so I'm going to let you run. But you're in this competition. Does it matter to you, starting or relieving? Does it matter?
It matters to me personally. I wouldn't say it matters on the field as much as it does to me. I want to be a starter. I've always been a starter.
Okay.
I think that's what I was kind of born to do, is to start and throw a lot of pitches, a lot of innings or whatever. But when it comes to the team, whatever the team needs, I'm there. I'll be there in the bullpen if that's what they need. I'll be there as a starter if that's what they need. So I wouldn't say it matters in the aspect of the team, but to me it does. But it's not going to change. It's not going to change my mentality on the mound. I'm still going to be who I am, regardless if I'm a starter or a reliever.
Wow, good stuff.
Awesome. Good luck, Landen. We're pulling for you, and don't eat too much. All right.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed being on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming. All right. Thanks, Landen. All right.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
That's great. That's a good old North Carolina boy right there, isn't it, Sean?
Oh,
He sure is.
Isn't there something to that? Seriously, you look at the way a guy grows up. You look at the confrontations he's had along the way, and then you're right. 50,000 crazy Dodger fans screaming, and here's a guy who's standing there watching a bear. There's something to that as to the makeup of the person. I think there's something there. What do you think?